Real quick warning, this is one of those videos that you can't just have in the background of your screen. This is one of those videos you have to actually look at, because if you don't, you're gonna miss a lot of context, and it's gonna make you very angry, because there are captions that tell you the context for certain things I say. Anyways, enjoy. Forsaken. You all know it. Whether you like it, hate it, or whatever, you know of its existence. And you know it has a lot of songs. Y'all probably know that Domino Effect has also been removed from default skin 1x as a chase theme, and has been repurposed. And the amount of glaze I have been seeing for this new theme is genuinely insane.
People who hate on this chase theme don't even understand that chase theme's supposed to be threatening and menacing. After a long time, one by one, is threatening again.
Now what I want to talk about today is Domino Effect, why it was so significant of a chase theme, why it worked for 1x specifically, and why it getting reused for a skin that less than a fifth of 1x's player base in the future will ever use, because 1x has a sea of other skins, was the perfect way to absolutely waste the song. Any new player to the game, from this point on, will probably never use it because it is the least detailed and cheapest skin, and they have no knowledge of its historical significance. I prefer it that way because it's the whole point of the skin. It's a recreation of 1x's old design, but the point still stands that nobody new to the game is gonna use this, which will eventually lead to the theme falling into obscurity entirely. Domino Effect was uploaded to YouTube by the composer Night Shroud as 1x1x1x1's main chase theme. The song was an immediate hit on the site of YouTube, sitting at 8.3 million views after 11 months. It currently sits as their third most popular song too. During the recent 1x and voice chat update shortly after the finale of the Christmas event, this theme was repurposed to the new Primordial skin, which is a recreation of his old design. The only reason to get this skin is if you're sentimental for the old 1x design, which I am, which is why I main with that skin on. Or if you already know it has Domino Effect and you happen to really like that theme, which I do, which is also why I have that skin on. But new players won't know that. But anyways, now that history's out of the way, let's talk about why I think Domino Effect is a perfect chase theme, and why out of everyone in the entire roster it fits 1x so well. And I will also be giving my thoughts on the new theme. Also, I just realized, as of the time of reading the script, that the description I use when talking about it feels super AI generated, but it is not. You can put the script through an AI detector and it will say it is not AI generated. I made this by hand for 20 minutes. First, let's talk about the name. Domino Effect is the effect produced when one set of events sets off a series of similar or related events, a form of a chain reaction, like a set of falling dominoes. 1x is notorious for dominoes, yes, but you can also interpret this name as a reflection of his lore. 1x's creation from Streletsky led to Streletsky's death, and consequently led to Dusakar trying to revive him in the ritual, which failed, and caused him to perish and become forsaken in the Spectre's realm with Streletsky and 1x yet again, to replay a deadly game of cat and mouse over and over for eternity. Now let's look at the new 1x's theme. Real quick, I just want to point out that I'm not trying to hate on this theme, just provide criticism. After all, the song is still better than any music I could ever make. And I honestly still listen to this new theme. Let's first talk about the name, Eye of the Storm. The I, you see, is spelled with the letter I. You're probably wondering what that has to do with 1x1x1x1, to which I say he has a red eye, and they replaced the I with I because 1x has an eye, but that would yeah, the name makes no connection to 1x whatsoever. Doesn't mean that the name is bad necessarily. It could fit with other characters, and I'm also not saying that a song needs to make a direct connection to a character. It doesn't. But I'm just pointing out that it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't associate with 1x at all. I, of the storm. But what about the layers? Let's go back to Domino Effect. Layer 1 is an extremely subtle, low-pitched build-up that's not entirely complex, unlike Cool Kid's theme, but still leaves a feeling of an imposing threat. Followed by this is the repeated chain for buzzing effects, particularly an EAS tornado emergency buzz. This already makes an unsettling sound alone, but combining it with the low, ominous beat in the background makes it generally a pretty ominous soundtrack. Alright, now let's talk about the new one. So you guys know the sirens in the background I just talked about, establishing 1x as an intimidating threat capable of immense destruction, and overall worked as a really good background sound to the theme? Well, too bad if you like those sounds, because they are gone. But surely we have something better that establishes a sense of fear and suspense, right? And captivates the general theme of 1x? After all, everyone's talking about how the old 1x theme wasn't intimidating and was just ear candy, and how the new one is the absolute best thing they've ever heard. Well, you see, now we have... I'm not even going to bother comparing the two, I'm too disappointed. But what about Layer 2? Focusing back to Domino Effect once again, Layer 2 builds upon the instruments, amplifying 1X's theme and giving it a clear message to you, the player, that it is closing in and you are progressively getting less safe. Nothing too crazy though. So what about the new one? We actually have a pretty good Layer 2. I'm just kidding. What is this, Sonic the Hedgehog OST? It sounds like some 80s rapper music that you would hear on the boombox or something. It doesn't fit 1X at all. But what about Layer 3? Surely Layer 3 has to save it. Surely. After all, this is the great theme that everyone is talking about is amazing and fits 1X perfectly and is super intimidating. Going back to Domino Effect, yet again, Layer 3 is where it begins to kick up. Actual tornado sirens cue in now, and the song starts to speed up. This is the absolute climax of the instruments before the chase theme actually starts. And it's genuinely horrifying. It feels apocalyptic in a sense. Like if there were to be a Roblox movie with 1X as the antagonist, and there was a scene that depicted him actively conquering a Robloxian populated area as the sky turned green and absolute chaos began to spread, this would be the perfect background song to have. It is genuinely intimidating, but it is simplistic rather than just spam ER candy like a lot of people are saying it is. What about Layer 3 for the new song? Layer 3 actually begins sounding suspenseful, with a loud Prowler-like track that plays in the background. The thing is, this is literally the only change it receives. There are no additional instruments, there's no like sort of a change or anything, there's no new sound effects, nothing else. Cool, yet another downgrade. Yep, this is truly the amazing peak theme y'all are talking about. What about the full theme? The full theme has to save it. That has to be it. That has to be the reason. Alright, let's go back to Domino Effect again. At this point, the peak of the theme starts, as a fast-paced glitching sound begins to play in the background. However, they give the instruments intermission before reintroducing the siren and alert sound effects. They allow it to follow through and release the initial built-up tension from the other layers. And even then, it still doesn't sound too fast-paced. It sounds relatively slow, which I think matches 1X. However, in the second part of the theme, these noises are reintroduced. 1X's new theme completely lacks this. Throughout this entire theme, they add new instruments, they change it up a bit, there's diversity everywhere. And just as you think the chase theme might be over, its tone shifts, much lower in pitch. It feels like a grand climax of the encounter. Honestly, the theme as a whole reminds me a lot of the Witherstorm's theme from Minecraft Story Mode, which is honestly really intimidating. And you know what's great about Domino Effect? It's long. Like, the theme itself past the layers is exactly 2 minutes long. It feels like the perfect theme for a 4-dimensional being, for hatred incarnate, for a truly horrifying entity that could be in a chase with you for 2 whole minutes because you are a sweat with 24 days in the game. So what about the new themes? Upon the start of the full theme, it actually does a pretty good job at instilling a horror element. It is actually really promising sounding. Very fast-paced, dramatic, and intimidating. I completely agree that this sounds really, really good. It feels like old 1X's theme in a way, whereas you're in the center of a chase and the entity is slowly getting closer. But here's the thing, it's way too repetitive. The entire theme, it is the sound that you hear at the start of the theme sticks the entire time. The entire time, it's the exact same thing. It doesn't go away, even briefly, or change at all. Oh wait, but don't worry, they added one other change to the song to break away from the same boring loop every time. They added Pac-Man Mario retro sounds in the background, and that's all. Okay, are we trying to make a song that sounds suspenseful and is faithful to the character? Or are we unironically trying to make an 80s theme about, as I joked before, like, what is this? This doesn't sound like it would be for 1X at all. It sounds like some sort of a Noli alternative skin that would cost 200 coins at the shop. And you know what's crazy? The theme past the layers is only 47 seconds long. It's not even a full minute long. And it's just the same thing looped over and over again with the retro-y stuff coming in around the end. The old 1X theme, it wasn't overstimulating and fast, it was suspenseful. It calmed whilst also remaining threatening and impactful, and it also matched the character. It sounded scary. When I listened to this new theme, after like the 30th second, I don't feel threatened anymore. It doesn't sound scary because it's just the same thing over and over again. And that's not to say the same thing over and over again is bad, but like there are killer themes that have that. It doesn't make your theme bad, but like comparing it to Domino Effect, it just handled the idea of like this type of a theme for him so much better in every category. And it doesn't sound suspenseful either. There's no element of 1X. There's not even glitching sounds. And that's one of the biggest ideas of Forsaken's adaptation of 1X. There's none. There's no sound effects, period, in fact. Did you guys know that? And the fact that the theme is only 40-something seconds makes it so that you basically, if you're in a long-term chase or if you're following him throughout the whole game, it just keeps looping. It's just the same loop. It gets boring. There's nothing that changes in the song. It doesn't fit 1X. The old theme wasn't afraid to change things up a bit, but it still kept relevant to the source of the theme. My songs aren't great, but that's because I have limited resources. They don't at all. They have like the ultimate music producing engine. It feels rushed. To have the ultimate music site at your disposal, and you make a 40-second loop with no changes apart from one instrument throughout the entire song. And yes, I know that there's like that motif of like the old lobby apparently, which I don't hear at all, by the way. And I know there's apparently a motif of Domino effect, which I also don't hear at all, by the way. But people are saying it's there, so I'm just gonna go with it. It's just so generic. It's too generic. It's not memorable. If Forsaken were to be still up in 5 years, Domino effect will be known by none. It will have faded into obscurity. No one will be using that skin. However, there's a way that we can revamp all this. Add more elements to make it sound imposing. Remove the weird Tetris-like stuff that you have, the weird retro-y stuff, because it doesn't fit him. It doesn't fit 1X. It doesn't match him. Don't be afraid to add new stuff, as long as you circle back eventually to the stuff that you originally had. Reinstate those tornado sirens. They were perfect for the theme. Or heck, just add some sort of sound effect to the background. Anything else. Literally any other sounds. Make the song longer. Don't drag it on for as long as possible. Anyways, that was my full analysis on Domino Effect. I feel very passionate about the song, and I feel disappointed. I feel disappointed with the new theme. I don't hate it. I feel disappointed. I feel underwhelmed. There doesn't feel like there's any passion in it. But feel free to let me know your opinions down below. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.